he played a tribute to Anne Murray. They did a tribute to Anne Murray, so he
Yes,
played
I love that.
Gordy Sampson.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, well, next time we should do it now. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. That's right. That's it. Yep. Always do it. Yes. And story that one, yeah. That's what. Yeah. Story one. Good. What? I feel like that. Start writing notes for.
I'm not utility notes here.
Great. Great job. Great article. Job well done.
Oh, no, thanks.
Thank you.
No, big thanks to Jeff for prepping me.
Yeah.
No, it went well.
The air water tower.
Oh, water. Another one coming.
Yeah. Oh, you're a great representative.
No, thanks. It went well. It went well. It was a good news story. Those are always.
Those are good ones. Yeah.
But Sheehan was so lovely about it. He was so she first didn't realize that. He was good. Super pumped for it. Thank
Welcome. Is it on? Oh, sorry. Welcome to the regular council meeting for November 2025. Call the meeting to order. Acknowledge first of all our guests and our staff this evening. So I'll do the land acknowledgement. The land we gather on is the ancestral land of the Mi'kmaq, and we respect the Mi'kmaq as the indigenous people of Prince Edward Island. I'll ask for approval of the agenda.
Move.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. No conflict of interest. Approval of the previous minutes for October 22nd. All those in favor? Does anybody? Second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Business arising?
Should we call in our other council?
No.
Okay.
No. Yes, okay. Declaration?
This pertains to a code of conduct complaint that was filed. I think Councillor Stevenson has the resolution.
It's on your desk, Elsa. It's on the desk.
Okay, am I ready for the resolution? Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. The first resolution this evening is motion number COC 36/2025, moved by myself, Councillor Stevenson, seconded by Deputy Mayor McIsaac. Whereas the town received a complaint from an individual on June 24th, 2025, pertaining to interactions between that individual and Councillor Corey Frizzle. And whereas, pursuant to the town's code of conduct bylaw, an informal process was engaged to attempt to settle the matter between the two parties. And whereas the complaint could not be settled informally, and pursuant to the town's code of conduct bylaw, a third-party investigator was appointed to examine the matter. And whereas the third-party investigator completed her investigation and provided council with a final report on the matter. And whereas council has reviewed and considered the report provided and the conclusion therein, therefore be it resolved that Cornwall Council, based on the conclusion reached in the third-party investigator's report, finds that Councillor Corey Frizzle did not breach the code of conduct in this matter.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Planning and Development.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. At this time, are we going to call in Councillor Frizzle? Thank you. Well, I've received the report in your package. We have 3 resolutions coming forward this evening, and I believe Councillor Frizzle is moving these 3 resolutions.
Yeah, he's coming.
on the three resolutions.
Madam Mayor, sorry I'm late. Motion number PL 2025. That sound right? 23-2025. New street names for Scottsview Meadows subdivision, Phase 2, Sarah's Lane, and Matty Lee Drive. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Stevenson. Whereas the town received a request to name a new street, Sarah Lane, which is identified as Street F on Sandstone Surveying and Engineering Drawing number 24038-L1, dated May 26th, 2025. And whereas the town also received a request to name a second new street, Matty Lee Drive, which is identified as Street B on the above mentioned drawing. And whereas the town of Cornwall is responsible to assign street names and civic addresses pursuant to the Emergency 911 Act and the town of Cornwall street naming and numbering bylaw number 701. Therefore, be it resolved that council approve the names of the new street identified as Street F as Sarah Lane and the new street identified as Street B as Matty Lee Drive. Resolution.
Thank you, Councillor Frizzle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, next resolution, Madam Mayor. PL 24-2025, new street name, Shipwright Court. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Stevenson again. Whereas the town received a request to name a new street, Shipwright Court, which extends from the north side of Capitol Drive into PID 758144. And whereas the town of Cornwall is responsible to assign street names and civic address pursuant to the Emergency 911 Act, and the town of Cornwall street naming and numbering bylaw number 701. Therefore, be it resolved that council approve the name of the new street as Shipwright Court.
Thank you, Councillor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Carrying on, Madam Mayor, motion number PL 25-2025, request for density bonus, lot 49, Heatherway Drive extension, PID 1148626, Scottsview Meadows subdivision, Phase 2, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Stevenson. Whereas the town received a request to allow a 7.1% density bonus, or 4 additional units, for lot 49 within Phase 2 of Scottsview Meadows subdivision. And whereas the council may allow a density bonus of up to 10% in terms of the total allowable units in an apartment dwelling when a pedestrian walkway meeting the town standard is provided. Such walkway is provided in this development. And whereas the proposed development must meet all other relevant conditions of the town of Cornwall zoning subdivision control development bylaw number 422, and this development does. And this request has been considered and recommended by the Committee of Council. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Cornwall Council grants a 7.1% density bonus for a total of 60 dwelling units to lot 49 Heatherway Drive, PID 1148626, conditional on being issued a development permit and entering into a development agreement with the town.
Thank you, Councillor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, Deputy Mayor, Committee of Council.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You've all received the report in the package. There are 2 resolutions coming forward this evening from that report, and Councillor Corey Stevenson will be reading those this evening.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. The next motion this evening is motion number COC 34-2025, moved by myself, Councillor Stevenson, seconded by Deputy Mayor McIsaac. Whereas the Salvation Army is committed to ensuring that no one is alone in their time of need. And the Salvation Army's annual Christmas Kettle campaign is an essential initiative in the fight against poverty and food insecurity in the town of Cornwall. And whereas it is through our collective efforts as a community that we can give hope to those in need. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Cornwall does proclaim December 8th to December 14th to be Salvation Army Week in the town of Cornwall, and residents are encouraged to consider contributing to the annual Christmas Kettle campaign this season if able.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The next motion tonight is motion number COC 35-2025, Lennon House donation. Moved by myself, Councillor Stevenson, seconded by Councillor Frizzle. Whereas Lennon Recovery House Association Inc. Lennon House offers supportive residential programming for individuals seeking recovery from substance misuse disorder and co-occurring mental health issues. And whereas Lennon House is currently in need of a replacement commercial dishwasher to assist in carrying out its mandate, but does not have funds available for this purchase, and the town of Cornwall would like to assist in this endeavor. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Cornwall donate $250 to Lennon House to assist in their purchase of the required commercial dishwasher.
Thank you, Councillor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Councillor Hurley, aye.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Environment Committee did meet this month on November 10th. The minutes are not in the package. They've not been finalized, but they were in the COC package for last week. And just a couple of quick notes to have on camera. We welcomed Jeff Baker, our municipal engineer and project manager, as our new town liaison. So we're excited to have him on board with the committee. And I think we'll do great work together. And then the other piece that we spoke about quite a bit is the forest management plan, which the committee has been working on for quite some time. And I do have a resolution coming forward with regards to that plan.
Thank you, Councillor. Just bring forth your resolution.
Great, thank you. Motion number ES02 2025 Forest Management Plan Climate Challenge Fund. Moved by myself, Councillor Hurley, and seconded by Councillor Stevenson. Whereas the province of Prince Edward Island's Climate Challenge Fund provides financial support to municipalities for projects that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, strengthen climate resilience, and align with the goals and objectives of the province's net zero framework and the Building Resilience Climate Action Plan. And whereas the town's Environment and Sustainability Committee has identified the development of a forest management plan as a priority initiative to guide tree protection, management, and canopy enhancement throughout the community. And whereas the proposed forest management plan will assist the town in promoting long-term environmental stewardship and sustainable planning practices, therefore be it resolved that the town of Cornwall authorize staff to apply for the province of Prince Edward Island's Climate Challenge Fund for the development of a forest management plan.
Thank you, Councillor. Yes, Councillor Frizzle, go ahead.
So at COC, we had discussed adding in coastal protection or erosion into this application, but I don't see it in the resolution. So, what do we?
No, would you like to address me on that? Sure.
Well, yeah,
But everybody but me.
Well, I'm confused because we discussed it. You weren't there during the discussion, so.
No, we did review that, and certainly coastal erosion will be part of this forest management plan. Planting of trees, buffer zones, what have you. But the actual completion of a coastal erosion plan would be an entirely separate beast. That would require a different skill set than who you would hire to do a forest management plan. So it doesn't make sense to combine the two, but it can certainly be looked at for a potential funding that we might want to do in a subsequent year under that same fund.
So I guess I'm wondering why this is a priority over the coastal erosion, why the forest management, why the committee feels.
This has been something that we've been speaking about for quite some time. So this is the natural evolution of kind of items that we have talked about. It's not that we've not talked about coastal erosion. It's just that we have talked about the forest management plan a lot longer, as well as development happens. The impact of the not having a forest management plan is a lot more significant than the impact of erosion, just the nature of the speed of erosion versus the speed of development in the town.
Yeah.
We do feel that having a forest management plan is a higher priority in terms of funding this year round.
Yeah, well, I humbly disagree with that assessment. I can see coastal erosion happening on town property. I'm either asking for an amendment to this to either include coastal erosion in this plan or to take precedence over forest management plan. So I
would
don't
like
know
to-
what the Robert's Rules of Order are on making an amendment.
Can I
Okay.
make one more point, though, with regards to the development kind of hindering a forest management plan a little bit more so, is it is one of the things that Stratford specifically called out in their forest management plan, that they're struggling now because of the disjointed situations that they have within Stratford due to the development that happened, and would have liked to have had this in place prior to that much development happening within the town. So that's another kind of reason why this is a priority for us. And I don't feel that the resolution needs to be amended, because I don't believe we would be doing, like I said, we will certainly take coastal erosion considerations into account, but same as a lot of the different considerations that we're going to be taking into account, they're not laid out or specified within the resolution.
Mm-hmm. But this is a town application for funding. What I'm
Correct.
asking for is the town apply to this fund to develop a coastal watershed management, coastal erosion type of plan, as opposed to this. So that's my amendment. Call a question.
Well, is there a seconder for that amendment?
Is there a seconder? If there's not a seconder,
There you go.
okay.
Call the question.
Question, I
All
guess.
in favor?
What?
This resolution, your resolution. Okay, thank you. Councilor Frizzle, your report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Reports from our partners with RCMP and Transit, Fire are in the package. I will note, as far as Transit, our numbers are growing again. Looking at these, we're the only municipality that had an increase in ridership in the month of October. 3,932 riders in October 2025 compared to 3,622 in October 2024. So a small increase, but increase nonetheless. So that's positive. Other than that, Madam Mayor, the committee didn't meet last month, but the work of the committee is ongoing. A real big highlight was the implementation of our eWatch program. We have 2 eWatch cameras that are now functional on Main Street. One up by the North River Roundabout, and another on Main Street down near Ferry Road. So I saw some screenshots of the cameras, and it looks great. I don't think there's been any bad guys caught yet, so we'll stay tuned on that. But it's great to see that progress being made, and obviously more cameras are about to come online. So yeah, so that's all I have to report on this month. Happy to entertain any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay, we'll move on to Councillor Stevenson, Parks and Recreation.
Thank you.
No questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. Just a few things to report on tonight and to highlight from Parks and Recreation Committee. The committee did not meet. We did not have quorum in November, and I guess maybe I'll just say at this time, just a condolences to Councillor Campbell, which I know several will probably make mention of at the end. But I guess part of the reason for quorum was we had an unfortunate death, and with Councillor Campbell's father, and I just want to offer my condolences to the councillor Stephen and Campbell and Margot, Tessa, and Tim, and their family during this extremely difficult time for them. So our thoughts, prayers, and wishes are well with them. So. The current plan at the moment is to meet in December. We typically do as a committee. I know a lot of committees kind of funnel to the committee of council, but to kind of ensure execution of our events that I'll go over in a moment, we typically do meet in December, but the jury's out on that. Well, I'll touch base with the manager closer to in terms of event organizing, and I'll let the committee and council know if we'll be meeting or just combining it with COC in December. Since our last meeting, the Veterans Dinner occurred up in Kingston. Again, it was a couple weeks ago. It was a lovely event. Big thanks to everybody involved, the veterans and their families, staff, the events committee. All participants, guest speakers, including our guest speaker, Chaplain Stephen Stead. I was proud to MC the event, and again, kudos to Deputy Mayor McIsaac for who spearheaded this event several years ago, I should say. We always say a few, but several years ago now. So 10, yeah. So it's a very proud event for me to be a part of. And I want to thank the mayor, McCourt, who gave a very heartfelt address at the function. So thank you, Mayor. And again, thanks to all the veterans and their families, both past and present, lest we forget. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Sam, Patty, and Sam's Restaurant for what was, again, another delicious meal that they put forth. Holiday event schedule. Many of you may have seen this on social media and online or in our newsstands. We certainly put these out in our newsstands, which are still very popular. So anyone who needs a print copy, it's there. To highlight a few events, Mayor and Council, I know a lot. We're doing individualized postings on social media. Tracy, you're doing a fantastic job of that, and Kim, and but just first up, just for some calendar notes here while we're in chambers, in terms of everyone's always invited, residents, council, staff. The community tree lighting will be Friday, December 5th here at Town Hall, 6 p.m. And again, this would be, I think, our third year in a row now doing Friday. It just seemed to be a better fit and to involve more community compared to the Wednesday when we used to hold it. So, and then the next morning, and just to note a location change, as per our usual, is our breakfast with Santa and Friends will be at the APM Center this year from 8:30 to 11 on Saturday the 6th. So always a very busy morning with pancakes and elves and Santa, and it's always a great time. So certainly looking forward to seeing folks out at that. Holiday trivia with Greg, always a great time. That's going to be at, again, that one, we've switched it back and forth on locations. This year we'll be at Sam's Family Restaurant at 8 o'clock on Friday the 12th. If you can make that, that's always a great time. A new event this year is our holiday outdoor vendor market, which I'm told there's been high interest already in terms of reserving tables. That's on Saturday, December 13th from 10 a.m. till 3 here at Town Hall. Like I said, we've had some really great feedback already on that, and people reserving tables, and so we do still have a few left. So definitely, if you know anybody that wants to be involved, local vendors or whatnot, residents, do reach out. And of course, a big highlight of our whole holiday event schedule is our community Christmas parade, Mayor and Council. 6:30 p.m. start, where we combine with the North River Fire Department, who comes through town, and certainly, as always, obviously our own, as everyone knows from previous minutes and reports, that we did budget for, and we are still slowly in process of our own parade float, but it won't be, the target will be for next year's parade and or parade routines schedules. And but as always, we always invite counselors to be involved, our community groups, and to touch base. I know Jen has reached out to those who participated in the past, and we're always looking we've grown every year, our Christmas parade, so we're certainly looking to continue to grow. So any local business or community group, organization is certainly welcome to put a float in of some sort, and can touch base with Town Hall on the perimeters around that. Our Christmas Lights Tour will be both Tuesday and Wednesday of December 16th and 17th. We have a couple spots reserved just for seniors only, and then we have some for open for families. So again, all of our correspondence of these events have an email or phone number attached to call and to register and to touch base on on any other details. But those always sell out. The seats are always full the last couple of years, so we're looking forward to that. And then on Friday, December 19th, we have a Cornwall Cares Stuff Our Bus. So again, looking to help those in need in our community and to kind of help those surrounding organizations who are always working hard to support the vulnerable in our community. And we're looking to kind of partner with that. So again, keep an eye on social media. We have lots of updates and events and tidbits of information on that, or check our newsstand. And Tracy, again, you do a great job of that, and so do pay attention to that. So, you have a question now? Go ahead.
If I could ask a couple questions, with the change of location for the pancake breakfast, are we going to put a sign up at the door so if folks do go to the old spot, they'll know where to go?
Yeah, I'll mention that to Manager Kim. That's a good idea if people are programmed on going to the Civic Center. I know they've been, as the events get closer, I think they're going to be highlighting APM Center, but I'll definitely mention that to the manager.
And then my other question was with the Community Cares bus, is the bus going to be parked here at Town Hall or somewhere else to drop off, I'm assuming, food donations? Is that the situation with the bus?
The holiday?
Bus.
I believe so. I'd have to double check the complete detail. Yes, please. Yes.
Civic Center and here, so we'll have a schedule through the day.
Okay, and the schedule of when it'll be at Town Hall and the Civic Center will come out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Okay, I only have another item or two, and then I'll entertain any more questions. This one's more of a thanks to staff. I'm already getting a positive feedback on our lovely Christmas street lights because they look so beautiful. I certainly love them, and I just want to thank the staff for working hard to create a festive atmosphere on Main Street already early in the holiday season. And the last item, I think I mentioned it at COC, but I just wanted to highlight it again for Councillor Frizzle. I know one thing that was reoccurring was a block path at Primrose Point at the park, and that's been taken care of with our manager and the residents involved there. And the plan is to kind of do an overview of all our parks and to make sure there's no obstruction with into our park. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that update. Hopefully the future ones don't take 6 months to action. I would encourage staff to maybe identify those this winter so that they can be actioned in the spring. Yeah.
I'm bringing that to committee to create a list and a tracking, and yep. If there's any other questions, Madam Mayor and Council, that's my report.
No, that's good. Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. I believe you have a resolution.
Yes, I'm sorry. The first motion tonight from Parks and Recreation, motion number PR 11-2025, the tender award for the Terry Fox Sports Complex interior trail paving. Moved by myself, Councillor Stevenson, seconded by Councillor Herlihy. Whereas the town of Cornwall put out a call for tenders to pave the existing trails around the Terry Fox Sports Complex. And whereas 3 tenders were submitted and reviewed by 2 p.m. on November 4th, 2025, and the lowest bid submitted was by Birch Hill Construction Limited in the amount of $252,962.05. And whereas it was recommended by the town's engineers that the town award the project to Birch Hill Construction Limited. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Cornwall award the project to pave the trails at the Terry Fox Sports Complex to Birch Hill Construction Limited at the cost of $252,962.05 inclusive of HST.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Madam Mayor and Council, my last motion this evening for Parks and Recreation is motion number PR 12-2025, donation request from Basketball PEI, moved by myself, Councillor Stevenson, seconded by Councillor Herlihy. Whereas the town of Cornwall received a request from Basketball PEI to support the Bluefield Maritime Tip-Off Tournament being held November 21st to 22nd, 2025 at Bluefield High School. And whereas the town donation policy states that the town of Cornwall can donate a maximum of $400 to an event being held in the town of Cornwall. And whereas Bluefield High School is not within the town of Cornwall limits, it is the primary high school for Cornwall students, and all Cornwall schools are in the Bluefield family of schools. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Cornwall will donate $400 to the Bluefield Tip-Off Tournament.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. That's my report and motions.
I would just like to say, Councillor Stevenson, a big thank you to the staff that continue to go above and beyond. When you look at our events and how everything has grown, you look at the population of the town and how it's grown, and our events are certainly the center of our community. And as you look at all the preparation it takes to get this, and so a big hats off to our staff, all the staff. I know all departments work together, so just expressing that. Thank you.
And if I could add to that, Madam Mayor, just because Councillor Campbell's not here and Public Works is next, that Public Works staff did go out the last day or two to assist a bunch of residents who happened to miss the yard cleanup with Island Waste, and they were in touch with them. They weren't going to come back, so they had piles of bags. So staff went around and helped them out that way.
And just to add to that, I believe, didn't Public Works also do extra runs to pick up materials that people found hard to get to the driveway? And so that was headed by our Public Works staff as well.
Yeah,
So
they did do that
hats off to them.
community cleanup, I think the week prior.
Okay.
I think there were 10 or 11 people or so that put themselves on the list, and
Yeah, okay.
they
That's
took
great.
care of that.
That's always great stuff. Thank you. As we say, Councillor Campbell is not here. Anybody have any report? Councillor Frizzle?
Yeah, I'm on the Public Works Committee, and I was CIO just stole my thunder there. I was going to mention the and thank the Public Works staff for going out and collecting some of the compost bags. I was also going to share a little bit of background on that, Madam Mayor. There's a number of compost bags, the brown paper bags that are at the end of people's driveways, typically filled with leaves. It appears that most folks in Cornwall didn't get to that work until after it dried up, until the rain stopped there a few days ago. It was quite a wet November. I'd noticed a lot of those bags. I had some myself. I contacted IWMC, Island Waste Management Corporation. They informed me they weren't going to be coming back around Cornwall. So I had reached out to the CAO, who had forwarded that information onto the Public Works manager, and he quickly actioned a pickup. So again, a huge thanks to the Public Works staff for going above and beyond, and really doing duties and responsibilities that the Island Waste Management Corporation should be doing. So it's unfortunate that they they dug their heels in and didn't want to come back out and do another run in Cornwall. But town of Cornwall picking up the slack there. So thanks to Doug and all the staff for doing that. It's really appreciated. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor.
And the mayor as well.
As well. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for supporting that.
Water and utility is, yes, Councillor Stevenson, you'd like to get?
Yeah, I know. I just have just a couple small items there as deputy chair of utility. Again, first, I guess I would just start with my condolences to Manager Doug Longmore on the loss of his mother. Another loss in our last month here with our staff and council, and so it's been a sad time in some of our committees. So my thoughts, condolences, and prayers are certainly with Doug and his family at this time. The committee did not meet as a result in November, Madam Mayor and Council. The water tower, just really I just want to make note. Some of you have seen it and made mention that it has gotten some media attention over the last week or two. And I want to thank Jeff Baker for certainly assisting with me on that. As deputy chair, I was speaking to both CBC and The Guardian, and I think some articles are forthcoming, or one is already. And just to, again, ensure council knows where we're at with that, hopefully we're 4 to 6 weeks out of being operational. Currently, it's in the stages of deficiency checks. It'll be filled soon to check for leaks and to make sure it's communicating with our well system. And then hopefully we're ready to go after that. So certainly I'm starting to see a lot more positivity. It was a good news story, and certainly it just shows our growth here in the town of Cornwall, and to double our capacity and our storage, and in terms of a climate change, being prepared for inclement climate and emergencies. So of course, as we all hear at some of the doorsteps, to fix some water pressure that certainly has come up to us a lot. So it's a very, very exciting project to be finally near the end of it. So, and lastly, the committee will not meet in December. Any pressing matters will come to COC next month, and our next scheduled committee meeting will fall in January.
Thank you, Councillor Stevenson. In your package, you have received the certificate of appreciation from the Legion members. I'll just read this one too. Certificate of appreciation presented to the town of Cornwall for supporting Prince Edward Island Command, the Royal Canadian Legion's Veterans Service Recognition Book, Volume 22. Your recognition and your support of Prince Edward Island's veterans is sincerely appreciated. Thank you for your participation. David L. Doucette, President, 2025. The Royal Canadian Legion, Prince Edward Island Command, lest we forget. And we have another thank you. First line ever here. And this is from PEI Field Hockey. To Mayor Minerva McCourt and the Town of Cornwall Council, from Barb Carmichael, President of PEI Field Hockey. On behalf of the PEI School Atlantic Association, Athletic Association Field Hockey players and coaches, I would like to thank you, Mayor McCourt, and the Town of Cornwall Council for your continued support of our program. For the past 15 years, we have benefited from your generosity in providing free turf rental for our high school and intermediate games and practices. This gift has impacted 3 high schools and 4 intermediate schools, and the teams they host from Montague and Summerside. Without your support, the success and growth of our sport would not exist. School field hockey is the foundation of both provincial and university programs. UPI recently hosted the Field Hockey National Tournament, and 3 of the 4 teams in the tournament showcased players who developed their skills and passion for field hockey on your facility. These players thrived because they had access to a quality facility without barriers. We, PEI Field Hockey Association, were able to gift the town of Cornwall and a set of for us FORZA goals for the school field hockey program, $8,000, made possible through Field Hockey Canada's Stick Together grant. Your generosity has impacted hundreds of athletes and coaches across the province and the entire field hockey community, not only at the school level, but at the provincial and university levels as well. We would like to thank you, and we look forward to your continued support for the upcoming seasons. Yours in sport, Barb Carmichael. Barb Carmichael, field hockey teams of East Wilshire Intermediate, Bluefield High School, Charlottetown Rural High School, Colonel Gray High School, Queen Charlotte Intermediate, Birchwood Intermediate, and Stone Park Intermediate. They're nice. Business.
Meeting times.
Yeah, we've just discussed the meeting times for December. Okay, I believe Christmas is the December 24th. Christmas Council. We will not be meeting. Anyway, I've got my calendar here. Thinking about December 17th for council. December 10th for committee of council. Go ahead.
Are we going to umbrella the community council for utility, park, rec, and planning, or planning still meeting the first Wednesday?
Could we, gonna make an amendment to your motion, Madam Mayor. I'm wondering if we can do COC on December 3rd as opposed to the 10th. I'll be away on that.
But I'm just, anyway, I'm not gonna complicate anything, just
Go ahead.
Parks and Recs usually meets. Typically, we would do an early Wednesday, like we would back up a Wednesday
Okay.
in December. But again, we did meet in November. So again, depending on how the event schedules plays out, typically we would meet before COC. I just don't, in terms of procedure or anything that might have to come for that to COC, I just wanted to make mention.
What do you have for planning, Paul?
I have a few things, and we haven't had a meeting since September, so we really, and I have some things that people are waiting for. So we really should have one in December. So it won't be a long one, but, there's definitely some stuff that needs to get forwarded before COC. Okay.
Well, I guess we will set December 17th for the council meeting.
Can have it be up.
Council, is that
Sure.
fine with everybody, the 17th?
Yes.
So just to. Planning will be the first Wednesday of
Oh, okay.
December
That's
at
great.
1:30, like the usual one. And then the 10th will be COC.
Pardon?
Oh, yeah, the camera. Sorry.
I don't want to talk over anybody, so I'll just wait.
But
Yeah, okay, so planning will be the first Wednesday at
Third.
1:30, and COC will be December 10th, correct? And then the official council will then be the 17th? Okay, thank you.
But I think we need to figure out where planning fits.
Oh, yeah.
I'll reach out to the committee and we might be able to negotiate something.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking. The
yeah.
committees may be able to work out something where we can work it in with committee of council, but as you said.
That's always
we
the
have
goal.
17th.
Yeah, it was the
People
missing of
council.
November. I think that kind of, yeah, okay. Well, I'll message
Work together
Councillor
with that.
Hurlahai and Councillor Campbell.
Councillor Frizzle.
have one on heat there, Councillor Stevens, and you might be able to block that day.
Yeah, it's usually the first Monday of the month, but we are not meeting on the 1st of December.
Maybe I'll pick that one up.
Councillor Frizzle, we were discussing.
Yeah, I'll circle back on MES.
Okay,
Let me know.
okay, thank
If
you.
it is, though, we'll do it after planning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the committees can work out among themselves, hopefully. We are expecting that Councillor Campbell will be back at some point in December, so. Okay, thank you everybody for working, but December 17th will be the council meeting and December 10th will be the committee of council. Okay, thank you. There's nothing in camera, so we will adjourn and our next meeting will be December 17th. 4:30. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.